Good morning. Today let us see quick ratio. In finance, the quick ratio, also known as the asset test ratio, is a type of liquidity ratio which measures the ability of a company to use its near cash or quick assets to extinguish or retire its current liabilities immediately. What is the difference between current ratio and quick ratio? The current ratio is a proportion of the amount of current assets divided by the amount of current liabilities, whereas the quick ratio is a proportion of only the most liquid current assets and the amount of current liabilities. The quick ratio or asset test ratio is a calculation that measures a company's ability to meet its short term obligations with its most liquid assets. The quick ratio is also known as the asset test ratio. Here, it is a measure of short term solvency of a business. It is said to be improved version of current ratio in many aspects. It is also known as asset test ratio. Quick ratio is equal to the formula is the quick assets is equal to current assets minus prepaid expenses minus inventories. Quick liabilities is equal to current liabilities minus bank overdraft minus cash credit. What is the interpretation? Quick ratio of 1 is to 1 is considered to be an ideal ratio. It is a reliable ratio because assets forming part of quick assets are easily convertible into cash in a short notice without shrinking in value. Quick ratio or liquid ratio or asset test ratio. It is a ratio of quick or liquid assets to current liabilities. It is expressed as quick ratio is equal to quick assets or liquid assets divided by current liabilities. The quick assets are defined as those current assets which are quickly convertible into cash. While converting quick assets, we can exclude the closing stock and prepaid expenses from the current assets. You have to note down this point. While calculating quick assets, we have to exclude the closing stock and prepaid expenses from the current asset. This ratio is a rigorous test of liquidity than the current ratio. Quick asset is equal to current asset minus stock minus prepaid expenses. Calculate quick ratio from the following information. Stock is 50,000, debtors 40,000, bills receivable 10,000, advance tax 4,000, cash 40,000, creditors 60,000, bills payable 40,000, bank overdraft 4,000. Now already we have seen this current ratio yesterday where we have calculated. Current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. So stock here is 50,000, debtors 40,000, bills receivable 10,000, advance tax 4,000, cash 30,000. The total is 1,34,000. Current liabilities is creditors 60,000, bills payable 40,000, bank overdraft 4,000. The total is 1,04,000. Current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. 1,34,000 divided by 1,04,000, that will give you 1.29 by 1, that is 1.29 is to 1. This is current ratio. Now let us calculate the quick ratio. What is the formula for quick ratio? Quick ratio is equal to quick assets divided by current liabilities. Quick assets is equal to current assets minus stock minus advance tax. Stock and advance tax must be deducted from current assets. So you will be getting 1,34,000 minus 50,000 minus 4,000. That is equal to 80,000. So quick ratio is equal to 80,000 divided by 1,04,000. That is equal to 0.77 divided by 1. That is equal to 0.77 is to 1. Advance tax is the part of tax provisionally paid in advance to the government. It is adjustable from the actual tax liability of a person. When you calculate quick assets, What you try to determine is the amount which can be taken out to cash for anything on an immediate basis. The advance tax is not recoverable as cash from the government, hence deducted in the calculation. You have to note down this point. Quick assets are current assets that can be converted to cash within 90 days or in the short term. Therefore, stock, prepaid expenses, and tax are excluded since conversion of such assets into cash may take considerable time. Let us see the next sum. The following is a balance sheet of Usha Limited as on 31st March 2012. Liabilities and assets are given. Under the liability side, 9% preference share capital 5 lakhs, equity share capital 10 lakhs, 8% debenture 2 lakhs, long term loan 1 lakh, bills payable 60,000, sundry creditors 70,000, bank overdraft 30,000, outstanding expenses 5,000. And in asset side, goodwill 1 lakh, land and building 6 lakhs 50,000, plant 8 lakh, furniture and fixtures 1 lakh 50,000, bills receivable 70,000, sundry creditors debtors 90,000, cash 45,000, short term investment 25,000, prepaid expenses 5,000, stock 30,000. So total on both the sides is 19 lakh 65,000. From the above balance sheet, calculate current ratio as well as the quick ratio or liquid ratio. So we are going to calculate the current ratio and liquid ratio. You all know the formula what is current ratio. So you have to divide the current ratio is equal to current asset divided by current liabilities. Let us see the sum. Here, the calculation of current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. You have to divide the current assets. Students, you all know that assets and liabilities are classified into many ways such as fixed, current, tangible, intangible, long term, short term, etc. While analyzing the balance sheet of a company, it is important to know the difference between the current assets and current liabilities. Here, the distinction is related to the age of assets and liabilities. What is current assets? As already know, it's very important in the sum you have to know what is current assets. Current assets are short-term assets either in the form of cash or a cash equivalent which can be liquidated within 12 months or within an accounting period. They are short-term resources of a business and are known as circulating or floating assets. Current assets are realized in cash or consumed during the accounting period. A major difference between the current assets and current liabilities is that more current assets means high working capital, which in turn means high liquidity for the business. We all know examples of current assets cash, debtors, bills receivable, short term investment, etc., which I have already given you. Whereas current liabilities are short term liabilities of a business which are expected to be settled within 12 months or within an accounting period. They are short term obligations of a business and are also known as short term liabilities. Current liabilities are paid in cash or bank, settled by current assets or by the introduction of new current liabilities. One important difference between the current assets and current liabilities related to the liquidity of business is that more current liabilities means low working capital, which means low liquidity for the business. As I already said, examples of current liabilities are bank overdraft, creditors, bills payable, etc. Now, here let us see for this sum. Current ratio is equal to current asset divided by current liabilities. So, current assets are bills receivable 70,000, sundry debtors 90,000, cash 45,000, short term investment 25,000, prepaid expenses 5,000, stock 30,000, total current asset 2,65,000. Whereas current liabilities are bills payable 60,000, sundry creditors 70,000, bank overdraft 30,000, outstanding expenses 5,000. Total current liabilities are 1,65,000. So current ratio, as you all know, 2,65,000 divided by 1,65,000 is equal to 1.61 by 1. That is equal to 1.61 is to 1. And the next one is calculation of liquid ratio. Quick ratio or liquid ratio. The formula is quick assets divided by current liabilities. As I already said, quick or liquid asset is equal to current assets minus stock plus prepaid expenses. You have to deduct stock and prepaid expenses from current assets. So stock and prepaid expenses is 30,000 plus 50,000. So the current asset is equal to 2,30,000. That is, you are deducting 2,65,000 minus 30,000 plus 5,000. That is equal to 2,65,000 minus 35,000 will give you 2,30,000. And the liquid ratio is equal to 2,30,000 divided by 1,65,000. That is equal to 1.39 divided by 1. That is equal to 1.39 is to 1. So this is a way of calculating the quick ratio or liquid ratio. The formula always you must note it down. Quick assets divided by current liabilities. Let us see the next ratio, that is solvency ratio. The solvency ratio is a key metric used to measure an enterprise's ability to meet its debt obligations and is used often by prospective business leaders. The solvency ratio indicates whether a company's cash flow is sufficient to meet its short and long term liabilities. Solvency reflects the firm's position and ability to meet the long term and short term obligations. When you see the analysis, if solvency is high, that means firms have sufficient resources to meet all obligations. A firm that is unable to maintain a good solvency will find difficult in paying debts and hence will get bankrupt. What are the uses of solvency? It helps in identifying the sustainability of a firm. It helps in managing the assets and liabilities by striking the balance between assets and liabilities. It guides in managing the various cash related transactions. Solvency versus liquidity. Solvency and liquidity are both terms that refer to an enterprise's state of financial health, but with some notable differences. Solvency refers to an enterprise's capacity to meet its long term financial commitments. Liquidity refers to an enterprise's ability to pay short term obligations. The term also refers to a company's capacity to sell the assets quickly to raise cash. Solvency and liquidity are both equally important for a company's financial health. Solvency and liquidity are both terms that refer to an enterprise state of financial health, but with some notable differences. Liquidity refers to both of an enterprise's ability to pay short-term obligations and company's capacity to sell the assets quickly to raise the cash. Whereas solvency refers to a company's ability to meet long-term obligations. A company with adequate liquidity will have enough cash available to pay its bills. Solvency ratio. Solvency in finance or business is a degree to in which the current assets of an individual or entity exceed the current liabilities of that individual or entity. Solvency can also be described as the ability of a corporation to meet its high long term fixed expenses and to accomplish long term expansion and growth. This is best measured using the net liquid balance formula. In this formula, solvency is calculated by adding cash and cash equivalents to short term investments, then subtracting notes payable. The term solvency refers to the ability of a concern to meet its long term obligations. The persons who have advanced money to business on long term basis are interested in safety of their payment of interest periodically as well as the repayment of principal amount at the end of the loan paid. Solvency ratios are calculated to determine the ability of the business to service its debt in the long term run. Important solvency ratios are debt equity ratio and proprietary ratio. Let us see debt equity ratio. Debt equity ratio measures the relationship between long term debt and equity. This ratio indicates the relationship between the external equities and the shareholders' funds. Debt equity ratio is equal to long term debt divided by shareholders' funds. What is long term debt? That is Money that has been borrowed for a period of 10 years. Venture capitalists provide equity and other types of long term funds to unlisted companies. Long term debt is equal to debentures plus long term loans. Shareholders' fund is equal to equity share capital plus reserve and surplus plus preference share capital minus fictitious asset. Fictitious assets are the deferred revenue expenditure as well as intangible assets, that is, advertisement expenses, discount on issue on shares and debentures, etc. Proprietary ratio. Proprietary ratio expresses the relationship of proprietors' shareholders' funds to total assets and is calculated as proprietary ratio is equal to shareholders' funds divided by total assets. So we have seen this type of ratios, debt equity ratio as well as the proprietary ratio. Let us see the sums in the next class.